BC, I want to start with this question for you. Does a win solidify, if Rose Namajunas gets the win, does a win on Saturday solidify her as the best strawweight ever?
I think it does. And it's a perfect footnote in a lot of ways that this like 180 spin that she's constantly reinventing herself, even after wins sometimes, right? Because she wears her emotions and her development and growth so openly on her sleeve. And I always give Rose credit for that. But to go back to the person that she lost the inaugural title fight for, like obviously, Esparza beat her, but then it was over because Joanna was coming. Joanna's reign is really, really hard to beat of those, I think 5-6 consecutive title defenses. But not only did Rose go on to beat Joanna twice, including, one by dominance and one by just thorough edging her out in a classic fight that people really consistently forget to talk about. Yeah, dude, this would be it, because as much as we give credit to people for long reigns and many defenses and the kind of runs that Silva, GSP, Nunes, John Jones went on, dude, it might be even harder to constantly keep coming back. And I mean, she got dropped on her head and knocked out and was considering quitting. And all she's done since then is, she beat Whaley twice, including knocking her the hell out, dude. I mean, this is wild. She already avenged the Andrade loss by walking through hell in round 3 to do it. She's the most battle-tested and really most complete, if we're really being honest. Joanna was great. She pushed an insane pace, and she was tough as shit. But she was never a finisher. Rose is sort of next level and can do so much more on the ground, on the feet. Skill-wise, and I think now accomplishment-wise with a win here, yes, you're looking at the greatest strawweight in the history of this game. And in my working, still in progress, all-time great female rankings, boy, is she climbing that one too, Luke, because, that one looks like Nunes, Cyborg, Shevchenko, in whatever order you want. But how many other names are going to be between them and Rose if she keeps winning, Luke? We're watching a historically special fighter constantly grow, evolve, and entertain us here. And I love this fight for the storyline purpose. And I also like it for the challenge. Look, Esparza takes you down and goes full mount like you're seeing in these pictures. She can do damage. This is not an easy fight, although we're talking more about what does Rose gain with a win here. But damn, Luke, wake up and realize who Rose is. Put some respect on her name. Same gym as Gaethje. I'm telling you how underrated Gaethje is. I'm not saying Rose is underrated, but she may be all-time rated before it's said and done. What a great, great performer. And yes, she's on her way there, Luke. Greatest.
I'll say this. This is my answer. And again, she has to get the win. Otherwise, this is completely out. So assuming that Namajunas wins, what I would say is that would make her the greatest strawweight UFC champion of all time. However, I would still say that the best single strawweight campaign, like a single string of wins, would belong to Joanna Jędrzejczyk, right? She came to the UFC undefeated. She beat Carla Esparza to capture the title in March of 2015, and then beat Jessica Penne, Valerie Letourneau, Claudia Gadelha, Karolina Kowalkiewicz, and then Jessica Andrade, all back to back to back to back to back like that. That single push to go 14-0 ultimately before losing to Rose twice and whatever, that's the best championship campaign that any fighter has from beginning to end. But to be a two-time champion in the way that she has, to go and avenge the losses and then make sure that there was more to it in the end, right? Having to beat, Rose having to beat her 2 times like that, that would to me go and tell you that she was not only the best of her contemporaries, but to the extent that she couldn't get the win against Esparza, it's because she was still too early in her game. And now that she is much more veteran, or much more of a veteran fighter, along with Esparza, their level of time in the game has sort of evened out in that sense. It would tell you that she is the best strawweight of all time. But do you agree that Joanna still has that single push campaign? And because it was a single campaign, again, up to 14-0, that's why it sort of captures the imagination of people.
Yeah, it does. But I think you have to instantly either be told or recognize, again, she lost twice to Rose, including one by stoppage. So I think that
Max beat Aldo twice. Max does not have the record at featherweight that Aldo does.
It's dependent upon situation, no question about it. But in this situation, I think Rose is already there. A win here would certainly cement that, despite how romantic that Joanna run was and how dominant it was. And well, not dominant, but there were close fights down the stretch. But you get my point. Luke, are we overlooking Esparza at all? Like, I'm trying to hammer home that this is also a really tough fight.
We are, because here's the thing. Think about something here. If Esparza wins, not only did she get 2 wins over Rose Namajunas, and not like, again, didn't get it like when she was early and then again still early. She would get a very developed version of Rose at this point. So you couldn't say there was like neophyte jitters or whatever. There's another question here. Would she be the unlikeliest 2-time champ in UFC history? You can be a Nico Montano and get the title and then I get it again, or Conor McGregor never defended it or whatever. But to be a 2-time champion in UFC, that's no bullshit. That's very, very difficult to do. And if she wins on Saturday, she will be one. Would she be the unlikeliest?
Yeah, in a lot of ways. I felt that when GDR in the rematch with Amanda Nunes had some good moments, I started to think that same question related to her, but in this case, I think that would be right. And obviously the big selling point on that, not just the 2 wins over Rose, which is historically massive, is how far apart in years, 2014 for the first one, 2022 for the second one. But that 6-7 year gap, Luke, is so much more magnified in the growth of the sport. And like I say, I think it's kind of like sad in a weird way to see like Claudia and Carolina sort of slowly exit from that original group of strawweights, which populated that Ultimate Fighter season and then made that division the great division it is now. But Esparza's lingered and gotten better. And there's a lot of sort of silent redemption for her own case at stake, because Luke, as much as, we look back and say great win over Rose in 2014, just as you mentioned, it was such an early, incomplete version of her, and it was the first damn title fight in the division's history, and it was on a fight night for Ultimate Fighter in a damn, theater. I was there that night, first UFC fight I ever attended. But man, dude, are those 2 different eras in so many ways. So much at stake in this one. I think I just got double excited for it, Luke. Okay.
Yeah, I'll say this again. I go back to like who do I think of as like in terms of the narrative parallels of their career? Tim Sylvia. Tim Sylvia was not expected to beat Rico Rodriguez, and then obviously he had the had the PED issue, whatever, and had to go and reclaim it, and then did against Andrei Arlovsky. Dude, people shit all over Tim Sylvia as being, he's big, but he's awkward and blah, blah, blah. But here's the difference for me, BC. I'm not saying that Tim Sylvia beat chumps, dude. He fought the toughest guys that he could, and he beat some really good fighters along the way. No doubt about it. But, dude, we're talking about women's strawweight here. Yeah. Now, granted, you can say that she got Rose to get the title the first time before Rose was really fully put together. Fine. But this is my point. As good as Tim Sylvia's win over Arlovsky was to reclaim the title, Esparza beating Namajunas to me would be actually more difficult than that. That would actually be a harder road to go down.
Yeah.
And that would be, I got to tell you, that would be a significant accomplishment for people who got, for a fighter who just got left by the wayside by media, probably, by fans to a degree. This to me would be actually more impressive than what Tim did.